Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews. We are back again with another video, and guys, today we are here with another video review for All-American. This was episode 3 called All I Need. Literally, guys, I really enjoyed this episode a lot, like I do every episode of All-American. I mean, we're literally on season 4 of All-American, and, you know, each season is awesome. And, you know, I was actually, like, debating on doing, today's video or not, because I went to the dentist earlier today, and I got, I had 3 shots of Novocaine. Literally, my lip was, half of my right side of my face was, super numb. And, I didn't think it was going to go down for a while. It wasn't going down for a while. And my teeth were a little bit sore. So, literally, I did not know if I was going to, be able to do today's video. But luckily enough, I'm fine. The swelling is down. My teeth aren't sore. I took some ibuprofen. But guys, this episode today was very, very awesome. I really enjoyed today's episode. Especially because of the fact of, as we know previously from, last week, technically from, this week's episode, from what we saw going into this week's episode with, Spencer being, we're seeing the coach again from Toledo State coming there, and he's pretty much, saying to, Spencer that, I want you to come play for me in the spring, and he's like, it's already the spring, and he's like, oh, but, I think you could be a freshman, or, a freshman, for, I think you can just start, right away as soon as possible. I think you could just start now, this spring, instead of having to, wait until you're done with graduation and stuff. I want you to come this spring. But, that is, that's 2 weeks before graduation. So pretty much he is left with essentially left with, a decision. It's either he goes straight, to Toledo State and starts playing right away in the springtime, to be, start as a freshman right away in, college, or he has to make the decision of, okay, pretty much that could be his offer off the table if he doesn't do it, and on top of that, but he'll be able to graduate with, of course, Olivia, and well, not graduate with them because he's at South Crenshaw, but, he'll still be able to graduate with them and be with all of them, and, he'll have to wait until he actually goes, if not the offer is still there or not. It's kind of he's left with, there's only one decision, essentially. It makes it sound like by the way the coach was saying it. So, he has until the next day, literally, to decide, because he was going to be leaving the next day to go back to Toledo. So pretty much he was giving Spencer, essentially, just until the next day to decide what he was going to be doing. So pretty much he's trying to make the night special with Olivia, and trying to, break the news to Olivia, saying that, I'm going to be leaving, but I really wanted to tell you that that's what's, I don't know if I really want to do this. I really want to, spend the rest of my time here, our senior year here, and then graduate, and, be able to spend some time with you before I go off to college. And, I still want to, of course, date you and all. It's not like he was going to break it off or anything. He still wants to date her, even when he goes to college. Especially because, Olivia was going to be making the offer to go to Toledo with Spencer because she loves him. But, as Billy said, they don't, put your life decision on some boy or whatever, which we get a little bit more of, Billy finally coming to his senses in this episode, because, Grace kind of, puts the hammer down on him, and literally says, stop with the bullshit, which, thank God that finally happened in, this episode. I was getting real sick and tired of the way Billy was acting for no freaking reason. And the reason why he was acting the way he was acting, when we finally understand why he was acting the way he was acting, is such a petty bullshit thing. I hated it. I was like, that's so dumb, dude. You're a grown man, and really, that's why you can't forgive him and all that shit. So I was like, that's stupid. But, so he pretty much is left with essentially a motive and a choice on what he wants to do. Really, there's only one choice, and there's only the right choice, is because, again, this is what he's been wanting. He knows this is what the thing he needs to do, and he knows that his family will still be there, and they'll still want to see him and all that stuff. But this is the right thing to do. This is what he's been playing football for. This is what he's been striving and pushing to get his dreams. He finally got, a D1, scholarship to Toledo, and that's really awesome. So that's, he wants to eventually get into the NFL. So it would be dumb not to start right away, because he already has the credits from all of his, extra, curricular activities that he's put together with, a whole bunch of other people so they would get their grades up. So it's like, he already has the credits, there's no reason, Grace is telling him, this is, would you really, is this really what you want to do? And he's like kind of saying, yeah, this is what I want to do. But, he's like, cause you can really tell Grace is like sad about it. And she's like, it's of course it's, it's not easy to let go of, my firstborn son, you know what I mean? It's not going to be easy. And of course, he tries to, make her happy by saying, oh, let's go do golf or whatever, like we still have 2 weeks before, or we still have, we at least have a day before I go, because I'm assuming, like he said he was leaving the next day. At least that's what I remember. He wasn't giving Spencer too long of a choice to make up the decision. Because again, he says, in 2 weeks, we're going to be starting, practice or whatever, it's spring now, but we don't start until 2 weeks. And he's like, oh, that's right before graduation. And he's like, but you have to decide right now, by tomorrow, are you coming with me or not? Because essentially he's making it sound like it won't be there. And, at the end of the day, Spencer has to make that decision, but he's trying to make up time with Olivia. He's setting up a night, a night to remember. They're going out to this special dinner, but that ends up, she doesn't want to go do that. Because she sees the putt place that she really loves, and it has different arcade games and stuff in there. And she likes that place. She used to go with Jordan when they were little, and her favorite game is the basketball game and stuff. And he's like, oh, we're going in there, and she's like, oh, and he's like, oh, never mind, I'll cancel it. And she's like, no, it's good. And he's like, I'm gonna cancel it. And they end up doing that, which is a lot. I think, in my personal opinion, fancy dinner are doing that. That seems more fun. So I was like, that's really cool. And that really also goes to show how Spencer and her are really, fit. And, they really, fit one another like a missing puzzle piece. They are literally meant for each other. And that's what they would rather go do, which was awesome to see that. And to see them, take pictures in the photo booth. And they're being all cute together. And, of course, they're making out in the photo booth. And he's like, oh, we could take it back to my place or whatever. And then, Olivia, previously before that night happened, she was talking to her sponsor saying, I'm not sure, how I feel about this or whatever. But she's like, I've grown from, because the one sponsor is like, you're how are you taking it that someone's leaving you, because you felt like everybody was leaving you behind? How are you feeling about this, that Spencer's going to be leaving the next day and he won't be here for graduation? And she's like, he needs to do this because this is what's right. And, I've been growing. I feel good about this. I'm not in the same mindset I was in, months ago. I'm better now. And, I'm okay with this. Essentially, she's okay with it, but of course she's sad about it. And, I love how Spencer, even, says to her and, comforts her to the fact of, he'll still be there. He still wants to be with her. He loves her, and he's willing to wait for them to, to have that special moment, you know what I mean? For them to finally have, sex. So I really do appreciate that he of course he's willing to wait, and she's willing to wait for the right time, because, he says to her, you're worth the wait, you know what I mean? As long as I can keep kissing you and stuff and being here with you, and as long as I could just be with you, I'm down. I'm here for it and stuff. So, they're waiting for that special moment, and I'm happy that they're going to stay together, because I was worried from last week's episode when we got previews for this week's episode they were going to break up. I was like, oh, they just got together. Please let them not break up. If he goes, let them be together. So as far as we know now, they're still together. They're still cool. But going with Billy and, him still giving Spencer the cold shoulder, pretty much signing off on Spencer to get an early leave to go to Toledo State, pretty much not making it really easy for Spencer, but you know what I mean, he just wants Spencer to leave. I don't think he was just doing it to be whatever in a way. I just feel like he just wanted to do it just to get Spencer out of there. That's how I feel like Billy was thinking. So to see, Grace finally, when after we see, Spencer and Grace go to the putt golf place, and his mom go there, and she's explaining to to his mom, I don't think he's gonna forgive me, and like you said to me, if people don't want to be in my life, we just gotta cherish the ones that are in our life. And she's like, oh, I just said that to get that one girl away from you at the time or whatever. She said something like that, but I was like, she just can't stand the fact that he is gonna really ruin a relationship, because Spencer said Billy said to me that we were just he was just my coach, and that was at that. We weren't anything else. We weren't family. We were just, he was just my coach. He said that. And she's pretty much went in there when Jordan was talking to her and said, let's cut the bullshit or whatever. You've done some pretty stupid ass things before, in your life, and so have I, or whatever. And he forgave us for that. You need to forgive him for that. What's the reason? He said sorry to you multiple times. What's the reason why you won't forgive him? And I really do appreciate the fact of he finally said what it was, but like it's so stupid. He couldn't really forgive Spencer on the fact of he's annoyed again that Jordan's hasn't played this good and has not been recovered from him spiraling, and he's pissed because Spencer was the one to do that. And again, Billy didn't notice that Jordan was spiraling, and Billy didn't know that Jordan was putting his life on the line to get back into football and stuff, and he's pissed about that still to Spencer. And she's like, you need to cut out this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you need to make amends now. You need to do this. And he's like, it's already too late. I kind of already cut it off. I don't know how to do it. And she's like, you better figure it out. And it's really cool because to do an olive branch after Olivia and Spencer's date. He gets a text from Billy that's telling him to meet him at the South Crenshaw's, at South Crenshaw, and he gives all of them, rings that says, we're not going to remember that championship night. We're going to remember us as a family. And he gives them like these family rings that says we won on the inside, which was really cool. And he says, you always be more to me, you always be more to me than me just being your coach or whatever. And I really appreciated that. Like he was mending the fences of what he tore down and what what he did, all that stuff of not forgiving Spencer. So I really appreciated that. I just think that was such a petty thing he was angry about. I just thought that was stupid, but it makes sense for Billy's character to be like that. And in seeing him grow, I like seeing him grow, and I feel like that's, he is growing. And especially from this situation, he's growing. I just feel like, it should have never have happened, but I'm not too bothered by it because he's growing as a character. And right away when, Coach Montez gives him the all-star, playbook so he can, play, so he can be an assistant coach of Coach Montez, Coach Montez's assistant coach, for the All-Star game. I thought that was really cool and nice that Jordan and Spencer all asked Coach Montez to let him be, an assistant coach because, she admits that, that it could easily have been swayed if the refs actually called that, touchdown that Chris made. So, I'm really happy that she acknowledged that, technically they kind of did win. Also, earlier in the episode, seeing Jordan finally admit that they won, saying, "Oh, they won that game, or you guys won that game." It was whatever. I'm like, dude, you literally in the last episode you were flaunting about your championship ring. Now out of nowhere, you're saying that they South Crenshaw won, and that was a bad call that they made. I was like, that kind of makes no sense. That you one moment said you won the championship, and now the other moment you're saying you guys didn't win. That didn't make sense to me as his character at all, because literally just in the last episode he was saying we won, and now in this next episode he's saying that we didn't win, you guys won that game. That didn't make sense that Jordan flipped on the dime like that. I don't know why the writing was like that. I just thought that was a little out of character, because just a second ago he was flaunting about him winning with all the other teammates, and out of nowhere he's like, oh, we didn't win that game, this and that. I don't know, maybe that conversation Olivia gave to him from last week's episode really snapped Jordan into gear. So maybe I can believe that. So yeah, other than that, with the episode, also with Layla, trying to get Preach to get Coop to answer her phone calls so she can get back in the studio and finish the album when the album's almost done. And Layla not knowing what's going on with Coop, that she the only one that really knows that Coop can't rap the way because of her injuries to her lungs is, I think, Preach and of course Preach, Asher, Spencer, and Impatience are the only ones that know that Coop can't sing because of due to her injury of her lungs. So she's just telling Preach to please get her in here, and I know you're taking more hours, and Coop is watching over your daughter, but we can make you money if you get her in here, and you need to push her to do this. I understand she's been through trauma, but so have I, and the best way to do it is just push her to what she needs to be doing, getting things back to normal. But I felt like Layla was only saying that to Preach because that's what Layla needs. Layla needs for her to feel like things are going back to normal, so that I feel like she wasn't really thinking on Coop's behalf, because especially by the end of this episode, I can clearly tell she was not worried about Coop's behalf by saying, oh, please get her in here, do anything you have to, or whatever. She was just doing it for herself. And the fact that, she wasn't really, gonna, tell Coop to be, push her to be like, look, I understand that I heard this from Asher. I understand that, you feel like you can't do this anymore, but I believe in you, and I knew you can push through this. That's the friend Layla should have been. But Layla's at the point where I feel like she is making, in a way, she's kind of I'm not sure if I really like this new version of Layla. I feel like in a way she's kind of still spiraling in a way because she is. One, I didn't like how she slept with Asher, and she was due to the fact that I guess she went to go sign this one artist, and even though the artist didn't want her to be signed, she didn't even want to be signed by Layla, but she convinced that girl to do it, and they go back to the studio, her and Asher, and they're drunk and they end up having sex. And then she ends up pretty much, learning it from, Asher about that, Coop can't rap anymore. And then pretty much, says, oh, I need you to sign this contract. I've been wasting time with you. I'm going to be, I'm going to use all my songs now that were once yours, but now they're mine because, you were signed by my label and now they're my songs. I put all the money into it and I'm going to give it to the new artist. I thought that was really, really shitty of Layla to do. And I don't like where her character's going because it's I feel like in a way, she went from that episode to this episode, and it's in a way she's just angry, and I don't know why they're making that she's angry because there's really no reason. I mean, you should be there for your friend, and she's even Coop was I thought we were family, and she's well, family or whatever. I forget what she said, but she was just saying family doesn't waste my time or waste my money or something like that, and she was just furious and angry. So I just don't know where that's going to go because, Coop signed away her music and pretty much, quit officially. But I feel like this won't be the end of Coop's rapping career. I feel like she'll find a way to, overcome what her injury was. But I'm also a little worried that the fact of, Preach's daughter pretty much trying to look into, her mother's death, look into Mo's death. And I'm a little worried because, she even said that one moment when she tells, Preach and Coop, if it wasn't, if Uncle, Tyrone was still alive, he would have dealt with this problem or whatever, or he would have looked into, my, his sister's death or my mom's death or whatever. And I'm just and he would have handled it. And I'm oh shit, she's going down the wrong path. And even Coop's you need to talk to her and tell her what really happened because she's going to be going down the wrong path. She has, she has a lion within her, you know what I mean? She has, and he's yeah, that's why I'm worried. She reminds me of, she's yeah, Coop says, if anything, she reminds me of you. And he's that's what I'm afraid of. And it's scary because, she's looking more into the death of her mother. And I feel I just don't want it to end where Coop gets shot again and then that she just gets killed or something like that's going to happen. But I'm just scared of what they're leading up to with that, with Preach and, Mo's, daughter looking into this because I feel she's going to be, she has that, it feels she wants to get payback. She wants to understand, she wants to know why her mom died. And I feel she knows in a way who kind of did it and saying, oh, you and my mom were shot the same day. That's not a coincidence, this, and that. And that kind of concerns me that Coop's in trouble. And she even admits to, Preach, we're in trouble. This isn't going to be normal. That we can't, there is no way of, covering this up. We need to just tell her what happened and stuff like that. And it's going to be interesting to see where that goes going forward in the season of what will happen with the daughter. Will she try to get revenge? Will she do something that gets someone hurt or whatever? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen between Layla and, of course, Coop's relationship after she kind of screwed over Coop. And I just don't like where Layla's going. And, I was really oh, please don't let this be an Asher and, and Layla type thing again. I'm because even Asher is a little is lonely right now. And if that's why he kind of they did what they did and stuff like that. It was finally an adrenaline he had after him not being able to play football. And I don't know. I'm happy for Asher that he's really finding out what else is meaningful in his life besides football. But I really do like how Coach Montez says, I would love for you to be an assistant coach with me in the All-Star game. And he's it's a little too sensitive right now. I don't want to do it. But I think by the end of the season, it'd be cool to see him as an assistant coach. But it would really kind of in a way, it would ruin his path to finding something else that's meaningful in his life. Because I feel he already turned down the assistant coach stuff with football, but that was for right now. Who knows what could happen by the end of the season or whatever. So I'm interested to see where Asher is gonna what his new found love will be and purpose in life. It should be very interesting to see that going forward. But yeah, literally other than that, that was pretty much essentially what was going on in this episode with Spencer trying to figure out, again, with his, choice. Does he want to, skip out 2 weeks of the rest of his senior year and skip out on his graduation to go to Toledo State earlier to start, I guess, to be a starting freshman in Toledo State in college to play. So that means not being on the bench, just starting right away, and being in that when the season starts right away, or essentially staying there for graduation, staying there with Olivia and all that stuff, and being there with the family, but probably missing out on the fact that they might take back the offer or something, or he might just be benched or something, or I don't know what could happen. But it was kind of like he's saying, I'm giving you until tomorrow to decide. And by the looks of it, in next week's episode, he's like, he says to Spencer, are you regretting your decision or whatever? And I thought you'd be grateful for this decision that we're giving you, or or this, offer that we've been giving you and stuff. And it seems like the one coach that, recruited Spencer is no longer there. And when Spencer says, yeah, I'm saying yes. And he's like, oh, I can't wait to see or whatever. And he's like, oh, that coach quit or whatever. And he's like, he quit. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, will that be a problem? And he's like, no, we're good. And it looks like that's a problem for Spencer in next week's episode. He's like, did I make the right decision? And I'm wondering what's going to be going on, that maybe he doesn't want to be there anymore. So it's going to be very interesting to see is this what really Spencer wants, because even that's what Grace was asking, his mom. He's like, is this really what you want? You want to just not do senior year and not be here and then go, are you sure this is what you want to do? Is it not too soon? But I feel like in the grand scheme of things, I feel like this was the right thing for Spencer to do. But I don't know. I feel like that coach in a way is kind of sus. So I'm wondering what happens that Spencer's maybe not going to want to do it anymore. So yeah, it should be very interesting to see where Spencer goes going forward, if this is what he actually wants Toledo State. And it should be interesting because I feel like we kind of now know that Olivia and him are going to be staying together. At least that's what I hope. I feel like that's what they kind of summed up in this episode, that they're willing to wait to have that special moment and they want to still be together even when he goes off, and she knows that's the right thing for him to do and he knows that's the right thing for him to do, and they'll still be together and they'll still see each other. And who knows, Olivia might move there. I don't know where Olivia's character is heading. All I know is that, she's really really, doing well in her recovery, with her meeting up with, her sponsor and stuff, and or Nurse Joy, if I think that was her name, if I'm correct. So I'm just really excited. I'm really happy to see Olivia such in a great place. But I'm really excited again to see where is Layla heading. It looks like in a way she's kind of kind of turning into her father in a way of how he was so aggressive when it came to doing stuff in the studio and being a person that signs people, you know what I mean? So it's to their label, I just feel like she's kind of acting like her father, and I'm wondering if that would be something we're going to see down the line. She's I'm acting like you. I don't know. I just don't like where Layla's heading, and I want to know what you guys feel about. Do you guys think that was okay for her to do what she did? Because again, I mean, it wasn't cool for Coop to wait so long to tell Layla because they were close. But at the same time, Layla had no right to be I'm just going to give your music to somebody else. It's my music now. And, you sign these papers so I can have the other person finish your album and she can take credit for the music and stuff. And it's not your music anymore. It's my music. I feel like that's it's a shitty thing to do, because even Layla thought that was shitty when her father did that to Patience. So it's you're acting just like your father, and yet you're mad at you're still you blame your father for what's been happening in your life. It's kind of I don't know, you're kind of acting like your father, and I'm hoping she kind of realizes that, because I feel like maybe that's what they're trying to show here, is that she's kind of turning into her father. I don't know. At one moment I'm liking where Layla's going, the other moment it's this came out of nowhere. She's was just rude. I just thought she would have took it in a different approach, not sign these papers. I'm giving your music to the new girl I signed, and it's not your music anymore, it's my music. I was just very shitty of her, in my opinion. But I really enjoyed this episode, guys. As per usual, I really love All American. We get better and better each season. These storylines are just awesome, and I just cannot wait to see where the rest of where Coop goes. Will she come back to music? I think she will. Will Preach and Mo's daughter try to get revenge on Coop if she figures it out, or revenge maybe on technically, Preach, her father, because he was the one that shot Mo. So I don't know where this could all go. I just know there's a lot of drama coming up with, with the whole Coop, and Mose and Preach's daughter, and there's just a lot of things that can happen there. And I'm scared for Coop and I'm scared for Preach because, again, I feel like that daughter got that fire within her, and even they admitted it, and that's why Preach is like, that's what I'm afraid of. And that's why, Coop's like, you need to be her, her pops. You need to really like show her the right path to take so she doesn't do revenge. She doesn't, follow the same steps as her mother did, and how how Tyrone did and stuff. Like, you really need to set her on the right path. So I'm excited to see what path they send her on, and hopefully nothing will happen to Preach or, to Coop. But guys, yeah, I just love this video. I'm happy that I was able to make this video for you guys. I know it's a little late. It's literally like, it's 10:43 right now. It ended at 8 o'clock. I started watching it around 9. And I'm just happy I'm able to get this review out. It'll be up late tonight probably. It'll probably be up when you guys see this. This video will probably be up around 12ish. So you guys will still see it if a lot of you guys are up, and for people that aren't up, you guys will see it tomorrow morning. I'm just happy I could get it up for you guys. I was going to do this regardless, if not today or tomorrow, but I really wanted to get it done today since I felt my teeth feel fine and my face isn't, numb anymore. Because I felt like Rocky Balboa, like literally my lip was so swollen and like numb, and I had that fire tingly sensation when you have Novocaine. So I was feeling achy, but now I feel great, and that's why I'm just happy I could get this review out for you guys. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, and like this video. I'd love to have you guys here, part of this family on this channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation here on this channel. So again, subscribe to the fam. I would love to have you guys here. We talk about, pop culture, cinema, and a whole bunch of awesome, cool, different TV shows like Legacies, Riverdale, All American, Stargirl. I'm probably missing some other things. Legacies, All American, Stargirl, Riverdale, just a whole bunch of different like shows, and you'll catch movie reviews here if you're new, and just a whole bunch of different things I do on this channel. So I would just love it, again, if you guys come join this family. Literally, we're at 405 on our way to 500 subscribers. That is my goal, to get to 500 subs, guys, and make this, and really grow this family here on this channel. And really, my main goal when I started this channel was to follow my dreams and to show people that you guys can follow your dreams. Don't let anybody stand in your way. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something. Just go out and go do it. We were meant, we were put here on this earth to literally, reach for the stars and, grab those stars and achieve greatness. And I believe that. And, I'm just so happy that, I literally started this channel like 2 years ago. And it's crazy that, I think starting next year, I'll be on YouTube for if I'm correct, 3 years, or that would be if I'm correct, because I started back in I started back in 2020. So, but going into 2022, that would be 3 years I've been on YouTube. That's insane, guys. And this family has grown so much since then, and I just can't believe it. How much this family's been growing. I can't believe. And I just love that you guys spread love, positivity, and motivation down in the comments below. I love talking to you guys. It's the best part of my day. Like I say all the time, it is. I love talking to you guys. I love getting to know you guys. And again, go follow my Instagram, because I do a lot of, I drop a lot of news stuff about my channel on there, and about news about movies and TV shows up on my Instagram, and just stuff about my life I put up on my Instagram. That's in the description down below, so go check that, my Instagram out. And I have my TikTok on there, my Twitch on there. So go subscribe, go follow those, social medias, because, I post a lot on Instagram, especially Instagram. So go follow my Instagram, because I post a ton on there. So yeah, and I would love to also start doing Instagram lives on there. So again, go follow my Instagram. So when I go live, you guys can be in the live, and I can just talk to you guys face to face and get to know you guys. That's what I really want to do, because I can't do live streams up on YouTube, because the Wi-Fi is just not good, and I don't have the right equipment to do that. And anytime I try to do it, it just doesn't work. But Instagram Live, I can actually talk to you guys, and it'll actually work. So I would really love it, again, if you guys follow my Instagram down, in the description, and also come join this family, and also put on that notification bell so you guys don't miss any future videos of, either All American, Riverdale, Legacies, Stargirl, I'm going to be Cobra Kai starting up, and of course Hawkeye's, Hawkeye and then Cobra Kai. So, some big things are happening, guys, and you don't want to miss those, videos coming to the channel, and just news about everything and just all the above on this channel. So, again, I'd love to have you guys here, a part of this family. And again, I loved episode 4 called All In. I just thought it was a great episode, and I can't wait to hear down in the comments below what you guys thought about this episode, and where do you guys think these characters are going to be going forward. So yeah, I'm just excited to hear that. But again, guys, Also, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about my new intro. I love my new intro, so let me know. I really want to know what you guys think about that. But guys, again, that was the video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. I'll see you guys next Monday for episode 5 of All American. Peace.